both of them spend like $100 for the alcohol and tobacco together every day. Every day $100.
Okay.
I love them.
And where are they getting it? The energy radiating from these men suggests to me that they have like 3 breakups, a divorce, and like 6 fights every single day. Okay, it's the grind set. Okay, it's on the day planner.
Man, that is tripping.
Also, can you imagine walking up to these 2 men and telling them they can't say the N-word? Clearly, I'm just judging the community reaction here. Clearly, this is an issue that has been settled in this neighborhood. It is known, okay?
But they're nice. Both
How many
of them
kids
are.
do you think they have? I don't know. Will that come up to you?
And they try to do what's right.
Just because it's non-problematic doesn't make it acceptable. Isn't problematic basically a synonym for unacceptable? So if it's not problematic, doesn't that mean it is acceptable? What's the Venn diagram sliver of things that aren't problematic but aren't acceptable? Right? I don't know. I think this is fine, man. Listen, okay? I am the most N-word saying leftist in the online space. Apparently, that's how I'm treated, okay? But I admit defeat because all the N-word passes that I've accumulated over my life pale in comparison to the mastery that the Hoff twins have achieved. Okay? That I am but I'm like the greatest swordsman from my village. Okay? I wield the N-word blade on my hip. And I've won N-word battles against many of my village comrades. But then I travel to Mount Nword, where the N-word dojo, full of the 5 N-word shoguns. And I think I'm the greatest of my village. The fucking Hoff twins are waiting for me. They cut me down. They with a single swipe of their N-word blade, they cut through my whole body and also a leaf behind me and a water droplet. Or something.
These bitches love hanging around me. Pull up with a fat backwood, some Don Julio. These bitches do whatever you say though. Like I ain't invest no money in the.
Behind every great man, there is a great woman. Okay? Behind every Hoff twin, there is a chick with a fat ass, who owns like, who owns a lot of shit. Please, I can't take this stuff anymore. Hey, if you have a problem with anything that we're looking at right now, it's because you're classist and or racist. And by the way, these 2 guys are so black that if you're mean to them, that is also racist against black people. Unironically. This hood shit, Vaush, this is why you need me. Okay, listen. Chat, you all need to stop with the projection, and you need to stop with the not being chill, okay? Will have you know that the streets of Beverly Hills were hard to me, okay? I would wake up every day and go outside, and sometimes a car would drive by that was made before 2002. We had to look at large pickup trucks instead of muscle cars sometimes. It was always when they would hire illegal Mexicans to do the landscaping. The police would roll by at least once a week because a cat had gotten out, or like an old woman saw a black guy. And the parks were dangerous at night, man. Sometimes if you stood in the middle of them at 3 a.m. and then stood perfectly still for several days straight, there's a possibility of somebody at some point accosting or maybe verbally harassing you. Okay? So yeah, listen, these are the same streets Mel came from, okay? I do not need your shit, chat. Thank you. Battle Child. Oh my god. Oh. Holy shit, this kid. Fuck. There we go. Oh my god. Fuck. The funny thing, the thing that I think is really interesting from like a class perspective or whatever is like, I think.
Run home and kids be chasing them.
I think for like the vast majority of people, if you showed them this photo and then you were like, okay, here's them 20 years later, most people would think that's like, oh, that's bad. But according to her, at least, here they had no friends and were getting chased home like by bullies. And here, the Hoff twins are like beloved in their community, socially actualized with friends, neighbors, and like it's like all the class signifiers point to this being better than this, but the actual lives they're living suggest otherwise. Just interesting, right? You know, analyzing this from a class perspective is so fucking bougie. Fuck you. Why is this a class perspective, not a race perspective? Yeah, well, the two are intertwined, right? I mean, because it's like, as we've established, the Hoff twins are black. You could put it both ways. But you get what I mean either way.
It's just in our vocabulary. This
Bro, I say that shit on accident. That's just how I say it. Like, I don't even realize when I say it.
it's like saying, what's up with my brother?
Look, nothing out of the ordinary because, as we've established, they are black, but oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, just the unadulterated power, man. Just pointing at the nearest black person.
I'm glad I'm white.
Yeah, we got the best of both worlds, bitch. You feel me? I use this white privilege too, bitch. Don't get it wrong,
ho. Best of both worlds. White privilege, and I can say the N-word. Hey, got him! Absolutely. Look, I don't want to live this life. However, do we not all want to have the bitches fight over us? Is that not something we all desire? Do we not all want to... I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you know, there are some girls that I like. I'm more public with one than the other. Nothing committed, you know. But then you make a mistake. You send out a flirty tweet, okay? You coom post on Twitter. Everyone sees it, okay? And then, not 20 minutes later, two big titty goth e-girls are stabbing each other to death in a Denny's parking lot over you. Truly, an end of the dream.
Checkmate.
To him, the bitches are all just pieces on a chessboard. They're all to him. He's just, yes, I'll take a picture with this one, and this one I'll see on Tuesday night, and this morning I'll go, but I'll fall asleep in this place so I don't smell when I go to her place. I want them to succeed so they can transplant their entire neighborhood into a collection of like 20 or 30 townhouses in a new residential district in a major city. You know, I simply want them to be relocated. Yeah, I want reverse gentrification to take place, okay? Exactly. Beverly Hills. No, Los Angeles doesn't have townhouses because the urban planning limitations and guidelines set in motion for Los Angeles were made by an evil wizard. Who they feed off human misery. So they made it so that all houses have to be one story with a surrounding lawn, and then between every house in LA, there's actually a mandatory 16-foot wide dirt track that they throw caltrops on, so cars or humans can't walk there. You actually need to take a car to see your next door neighbor in Los Angeles. That video slapped. I don't know if I was laughing with them or at them, which troubles me. Maybe I could be canceled for this. So part of it was with them because they're funny. Part of it was at them because they are silly. I don't think that's classist or racist to say, because I've talked with poor people and with black people, and I don't think that it's, you know what I mean? It's like, you know how sometimes you guys will call me racist when I imitate an accent of a person, and if they're black, you're like, well, you're being racist, but their accent has nothing to do with them being black. You know what I mean? Like, if you try to do a Morgan Freeman voice, you're not doing a black voice. You're doing Morgan Freeman's voice. And likewise, if you find the Hoff twins kind of silly, I don't necessarily think that has to be from some kind of mocking derision towards the hood or whatever. That being said, unless you grew up in a community like that or really close to a community like that, there is a kind of absurdism to that behavior, and I don't think there's anything problematic with acknowledging that. You know what I mean? There are absolutely some things about, I guess people would call it hood life, that are very, very funny, and a lot of it is just that it's like the same kind of hilarious absurdity that's at the root of being trans. You know what I mean? Not that it's bad. It's just funny because there's it's such a jarring disconnect between established social norms and what it means to be trans for most people. You know, like Contra talked about this. Like there's an inherent comedy to it, and likewise, because social norms in the United States are largely derived from wealth and from white people, there's going to be a disconnect there that is just considered funny. You understand what I'm saying, right? Or to put it another way, I think you could show that video that we just watched to a ton of people in the hood, and they would also go like, "Oh my god, they're so funny." I love the symbolism of how their game of chess never really goes further than the first move. Every time they try, it's just another step back. Lol. I think it'd be cool if there was more like... I really hope the term hood shit isn't problematic, because I'm using it positively here, but I really wish that popular media had more like hood characters. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of like, because, you know, we're very progressive now. Like, we let black people in our AAA Hollywood movies, but they are, well, they're usually fairly in line with expected behavioral norms. But like, if they do, they're accused of stereotyping. Yeah, that's true. It's not just the way you say hood is hood. Yeah. We know where I grew up. Thank you. Boondock isn't hood shit. What the fuck? No, Boondock isn't. There are characters in Boondocks who are, but Boondocks itself, I don't really think is. Maybe it's parallel. I don't. There hasn't been a good hood movie for like decades. Everything now is just black trauma. Yeah, that's what I mean. It feels like even when you get like authentic stories about like black experience in like, you know, in like black communities, like inner city poverty, like stuff like that, they're all like Oscar bait shit, you know? But like, don't you think, okay, this could be me being incredibly racist. However, don't you guys think that like black produced, black starring, blaxploitation aesthetic hood films would do like really fucking good? Doesn't that feel like a niche that should exist? Like, if black directors are like, fuck yeah, we're gonna make a goddamn fucking, there's gonna be a guy with a mustache, a handlebar mustache that goes down to his fucking nipples, okay? And he's gonna be called Handlebar Johnson, and he's going to be the pimp of this neighborhood, and he's gonna have a magic cane that hits the dumbass shit. Fucking do it. I don't care. I'll fund it. No, I won't. I'm not that rich. Movies are expensive. Do it. Careful, Vaush, your white is showing. Nah. No. Hold on. Okay. I'm pretty sure, and I could be totally off on this, but I'm pretty sure that black people fucking love movies that white people sneer at disapprovingly while calling them racist. Like blaxploitation films, or like a lot of Tyler Perry shit. Cause I know there are white people who look at that and they're like, well, I think that's stereotypical, but black people love it. And you know why? Because it's like Rudy Ray Moore films. Yeah. Because it feels like so often like oh yeah, we'll make a sincere, authentic movie about like black culture. Now let me filter it through all the cultural sensibilities that are appealing to white people. Let's make sure nobody talks too hood. I want to make sure everyone can understand what they're saying. And also, don't want to promote any negative stereotypes. So let me eliminate like 40% of the character that makes hood communities. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? If you had like the Hoff twin video that we just watched right then, if somebody made a movie of that wasn't a documentary, but instead was fiction, and those characters were written and performed by actors, people would call that racist. Yeah, they would. Yes, they would. There were stereotypes in there 100%. But people don't care when it's a documentary because it's literally there. But I think you should be able to do that in art as well, because people live lives like that. And there's nothing wrong. There is something wrong with the poverty. We should fix that. But there's nothing wrong with the experience they're having, like as a concept, the exposure to it, a familiarity with it. Besides, everything fucking good in this country comes from there anyway. Seriously. All of the fucking, literally all art in America, music, everything, whatever, drag culture, I don't care, starts out with an inner city black family that has a kid, and that kid ends up gay, and then that kid runs away at 14 years old and produces art and then dies at 30. And then some other black person takes their art and runs with it for 20 years until white people discover it, and then white people make it blow up. It's every single art, everything that we've ever done. Also, not just America, every country. Yep, metal music too. Sorry, all of it. But like, that does happen a lot, doesn't it? You know what I mean, right? We're gesturing at history. We're painting an abstract picture, not exactly like that. But you get what I mean, right? But I feel like a lot of people, they see like the Hoff twins video, and they think like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And I guess it is kind of crazy. But if you grew up with or around, or like in like hood areas, it takes like 5 days to get a feel on things, you know? Because I had friends who lived in the hood, and when I'd visit them, I'd sleep over at their house, and I didn't live there, but like day one, you know, you wake up, it's too warm in the house, you step outside, all of the houses around you look like they are made of corrugated metal and are 1 story tall. The grass on the lawn is unkempt, and there is a metal wrought fence containing your yard that doesn't actually contain it because it's broken in like 6 places. There are people yelling. You're very scared because you're white and you grew up in Beverly Hills. It's very confusing for you. You fear constantly for your well-being and for your property. But then, like, by the 5th time that you visit, it's just like, oh, it's just another neighborhood. You get what I mean, right?